What up, world? What up, everybody? Welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. It's a big day today, episode 43. And just in case you haven't been paying attention, every day is a big day, all right? Because you're up, you're breathing. If you're taking in breath, you got a chance to make a comeback. And so every day is a big day. But today is a huge day because we're doing some pretty dope things here on the Fanatic Sports Podcast. And that includes, because, listen, obviously we're a sports group, okay? Sports group, but, we got class, all right? We're what do you call us? We are culture, okay? That's another culture. That's the word I'm going to go with is culture. And we're culture because we got art people. Today we got Marcus Weyh. What up? Oh, it's probably on LinkedIn. Okay, I guess that's what it is. But what up, Marcus? Marcus Weyh of the so you go by Sir Picasso. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, so real quick funny story is years back I was coming out and with the Minnesota Vikings I joined a super fan group. Okay. And as an artist, I had a few paintings with me and this kid goes, "You're like the Picasso with spray paint." And my buddies were like, "That's it. There's your surname right there." So, sir, most people don't know it's an acronym for service, integrity, and respect. So, so I just started doing the Sir Picasso thing, and
love that, bro, man. Well, listen, before we get started, man, I gotta say thank you. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to get to. I jumped on one of your lives while you were working, and saw some of the dope work you do, and I appreciate you. Obliging to come on and join with us, man. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. But if nothing else, man, the opportunity to get to see some of the stuff that you do, the work that you've done is fantastic, man. I'm really excited about that. So, as you alluded to, you are a Minnesota Vikings fan.
I'm the Vikings fan, bro.
The biggest. It's serious. And so, one of the cool things, like we were talking about just a bit ago. One of the really cool things about, fandom is that, you connect with people that way. Like you said, you joined a super fan group and you make friends that, that was kind of how I ended up, I'd always rooted for the Steelers as a football fan, but I didn't, building that community and joining that community was what kind of made this thing live for me as a fan. So tell me a little bit about your fandom, some of the favorite teams that you have, and how you became a fan of those favorite teams.
Well, so with us specifically, you kind of get to know the group. Yeah. And they actually have a process which they call like prospecting or nominees. So people get to know you. And then if you would like to join the group, then we have a nomination or prospect period. It really, some people call it different, but it's 1 year of getting to know the crew. Yeah. We have different divisions, and it's basically set up military. So we have Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We have a special ops division. We have Asgard, which is what I'm in. Okay. And then there's a Valkyrie division. Obviously, only women in the Valkyrie division. Yeah, fair. So it's really just but we do so much charity, like our stuff is, and that's our biggest part about it is the fundraising. Yeah. Myself and my wife, obviously, so I had a friend who unfortunately did pass away from prostate cancer. During his battle, we donated a custom 16 by 20, which is like something like this size. Wow. But it was anything you wanted done, right? And so we would do like $10 raffle tickets, and then you help raise money to help cover some of the family's expenses. And then obviously when the unfortunate happened, it was that case. And then my wife, she puts together fan calendars. Okay. So she gets she'll recruit people who want to be involved in a calendar. We go out for the whole day. Like last year, she bought tour tickets in the U.S. Bank for 14 people. Wow. And brought a friend who's a photographer, took professional photos. Beautiful. Right. So, but it's all about like giving back and then I guess leaving your mark, you know what I mean? And it's at the end of the day, just being a good person. And when you allude to like other teams, man, I can't really pick, like Detroit, Lion Pride. They're some of the coolest fans. And then I know, there's the clowning part up until like recently. Detroit was,
Yeah.
Now they got a team. You're like, oh shit, we playing the Lions.
Right.
But prior to that, as somebody said, I'm a Lions fan, you shook their hand, bro. You like, this is for you, No disrespect to the Lions, bro, but that's what I mean. Like, but there's so many. There's the fan bases. There's a lot of really cool Packer ones too. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. 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 But you know what, man? Like, one of the cool things about one thing, and this is my fandom story. So I'm a Royals fan in baseball, right?
Oh, right.
Man, we done had some down years. And we've had some good ones too, right? So it's almost like, so I started being a Royals fan in 2010, and and they weren't very good in the pros then and the bigs then, but their minor league was on the way up. And so they'd actually won their AA league championship, and then that whole team, everybody on the 2014 team, except for maybe 3 people, had come through the AA team I'm originally from Arkansas, and so their AA team is Northwest Arkansas Naturals. And so same thing, but speaking of the Lions and staying down with the team for those years, and then you're being rewarded with the dominance that they've had the past couple of years, and interesting to see if it's going to maintain. But you know what I mean? Like, that kind of had that same feeling with the Royals of, look, I was supporting people who became my friends. And then after that, you go into when things get better, you dive into it. And so that's the fandom portion and the community that comes from being a fan is very, very cool. And, looking at your story and how you guys are starting to, you're not just yelling and rooting and, during the season, but you're actually helping people.
Yeah. Well, and then not only that, I'm going to try and find this picture really quick. So when I say like my wife and I, and then you talk about fanatics, right?
Yeah.
The podcast.
Yeah, right.
So it's not just tattooed. So this is me and my wife on game day. So I go as Darth Viking.
Okay, holy smoke. So you've been on TV.
Oh, yeah. The whiteout game, I didn't even get 10 feet to the stadium, and they already had me on ESPN. Bro, they asking me questions.
That's what's up, man.
But no, like, it's just, for me, too, with that, she took a really cool picture, and I thought it was, like, right next to that other one, so I was trying to pull that one up. But you could see, here we go, look. There's, like, a line of kids going halfway down this block just to get a picture for it.
Yeah.
And then also, again, being an artist.
Yep.
Right. Like, I just purchased 300 Star Wars coloring books, and I hand them out to little kids at the game. Yeah. So you get a coloring book from Darth Viking like that. You know what I mean? It's that lasting impression. But I also feel too, like my buddy Carl, who's kind of famous, Sir Death.
Okay.
He says too, is that creating Vikings fans early, like you're leaving those lasting memories on the, on impressionables, and that's incredible.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, bro. So any other sports besides pro football?
Oh man, anything with violence.
Yeah, I love that, man.
So big on UFC.
Okay.
And I like basketball.
Sure.
But it's more like towards the end, playoffs is when I usually have time to actually watch it.
It's chippy basketball, and that's my favorite kind of basketball. Now,
and with baseball, there's so many games, man. I don't have that much time.
The attention span gets low. But it's a slow burn, and that's what makes it work. Man, I've been a sports fan my entire life, man. So this is, like, as a matter of fact, like, I come from a sports family. I
heard your nephews and that. Yeah, they're big boys.
Yeah, man, them dudes.
Right.
Guys. I'm 6'5", Mark. They make me look tiny, bro, tiny. So, but
I get it. When I'm 6'2", man, and you bigger than me, I feel small, and I'm not used to that.
Yeah, man. No, these are big kids, smart kids, very respectable kids, but definitely big, massive.
That's awesome, though. Good for them, though.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of success coming their way, and I'm excited for them. But like I said, they're deep in this third, fourth generation of just athletes, man. My grandfather was the shortest of 3 boys at 6'4", so I mean, yeah. Uncle Rat was 6'7", Uncle Johnny was 6'6". Man, we talking about some athletes. They could hoop, they could run. They gave me everything but the speed. Everything but the speed. But no, man, it's sports has been kind of my whole life, and I've been blessed to have the opportunity to do things like this because of, playing football and, building off of playing ball to making friends and getting the opportunity to do this, and then making even more friends once we started. So it's been pretty cool, man. This is a pretty cool process, and that's why I enjoy it, man. So I want to talk a little bit before we kind of get into some of the work that you've done. I want to get into a little bit of the preseason, right? So we've got preseason 3. I believe it starts tonight. Let me grab that.
Yep, the Panthers and
the Panthers and Steelers play tonight. Which, like I said, I'm super happy that we're finally going to be on TV and nobody can pull a, we're not hiding behind all the different we're not hiding behind, because we're out of market. I'm down here in Louisiana, man. It's kind of hard to I didn't know I could do 2 now. That's fun. They changed a few things. They have updated StreamYard. But looking at, these are a few of the games that are playing. Anyone in particular that stands out for you aside from the Vikings?
To be honest, I have to say like the Browns and Rams.
Yeah.
Mostly because I've done a handful of paintings for some of the Rams players.
Okay.
But also too, looking at the Browns and kind of seeing maybe. I mean, when Shador came out, he showed them why they should have picked him sooner.
Yeah, man.
So I don't care what the business is, man. They should have. They knew what he was about, and it should have went into the whole thing. It seemed to me when that whole thing happened, it was super fucking childish on the NFL part.
Yep, and it was sad to see it, to be honest with you. But I'm glad he came out and blew the doors off, man.
Absolutely, hell yeah, good for him.
He's gonna be fine. I mean, he's a Sanders, man. You know they're gonna land on their feet whatever happens. I am interested to see like what happens with like a Dylan Gabriel, or I don't have a lot of hope for Kenny Pickett anymore, and Deshaun Watson. It seems like their time is kind of past. But looking at, Dylan Gabriel was a talented guy, and he had a really good career out in Oregon. And it stinks that he isn't getting the fair opportunity to be a difference maker for some teams. And you look at like what's going on in Indianapolis with the Colts, giving up on their high round pick a few years ago in Anthony Richardson. It's kind of interesting to think that they might be willing to strike a deal with the Browns. And that's kind of what's interesting for me too, is to see how well the Browns take advantage of, the stockpile of talent they have at quarterback.
Absolutely. Well, if anything with the Colts, their defense and their celebrations are about to be out the hook, because they got my brother over there, Cam Bynum.
Yeah, man. Bynum's. I had seen some of the work he had done, prior to the celebrations, but the celebrations just took it over. He
really did. He took his game up with a little bit, and they're like, when I say they're fam. I was just talking to Mom the other day.
Yeah. Oh, Mom. Let me see.
Yeah, they cool, bro. Like I tell you, they're truly one of the most humble, nicest individuals in his family that I've ever met in my life.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome.
It was, it's just like, oh, hey, you did a painting for me. Thank you very much. No, it was like, come on, let's get you something to eat. Let's hang out. They're incredible. I can't say enough about it.
So one more thing. I wanna load this in before let me see if I got it. I should have downloaded it. Before we talk a little bit about your work, I think this is something you might be able to get behind. So a few weeks ago now, man, it feels like it's been almost 5 episodes since we talked with Matt Bryant, the NFL fan historian. He's a numbers guy, okay? He wrote a great book called The GOAT Rules. Definitely encourage everybody to check it out. Again, shout out to Mac, man, for joining on with us. He's outstanding. He's the type of guy you definitely want to. If you like football, you want to sit and talk with this dude, man. He's fantastic. And you know I'll tell you how good he was. I had a bit of an issue with my computer, and it crashed in the middle of the podcast, and so he sat and talked with my co-host. And I almost didn't even want to join back because I was just having fun listening to him talk, man. And it's just really, really cool. But I was one of the things that he's been doing lately, Marcus, is he's been campaigning for Kevin Williams. You remember him? Kevin Williams, the defensive tackle
for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Kevin Impact. Come on, man. Hey. They're not just art, bro. Like, it's in my blood. Williams Wall, do I remember? No, let me think. Yeah.
So, man, one of the things about Kevin Williams that amazed me is, and I didn't realize this, he was a 5-time All-Pro, right? So we can talk Pro Bowls. You know, Pro Bowls is kind of the, if you will, it's the popularity contest. But All-Pro is voted on amongst the. I know it has to do a lot with the writers, but I think it also has to do a lot with the players, like that do the voting. And it says something. All pro means that you are the top of the top. You're one of the best at your position in the world, honestly. And so thinking about Kevin Williams, man, and his time. When you tell me that he was 5-time All Pro, it just amazes me that he hasn't made it into the Hall of Fame yet.
Oh my God, man! There's a few of them that I could sit here and tell you about that ain't make it.
Yeah.
How you gonna tell me Jim Marshall ain't in the Hall of Fame?
Jim Marshall's not in the Hall of Fame?
See?
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, look, I'm only 40.
I got goosebumps just now. That's how mad I instantly got. Like, come on.
I remember Jim Marshall, man. Jim Marshall was he was the face of the Purple People Eaters.
Yeah, bro. He was probably one of the greatest defensive line ever to play the game. Like, ever.
Now, did he play with Alan Page?
Yeah, they're all Purple People Eaters.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So we just did shameless plug, by the way. We just did our fantasy football. So the podcast is hosting. It's a creators fantasy football league. So about 9 or 10 of the people in our 12-team league are creators, right? They do content creation just like we're doing. And so in the league, for our that's dope right there.
I was actually showing because my wife said she can't find the link, so I said it's on my page. It'll be on my story.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely gonna make sure we share all that, man. But we were so to determine where we were gonna draft the draft order, we did a game show, and one of the questions flew two defensive players to win MVP in the National Football League, and that, of course, was Judge Alan Page. And so, I after that, I wanted to do a little research and kind of understand who he is. Outstanding playing days, the All-Pro, obviously MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He's got some laurels, man. That as Mike Tomlin would say, he needs no endorsement from me. But he was to go. You got to think, man, how intimidating would it be to have a 6'4", 250-pound man, not only determining what's going to happen in your life, but he stands up with
it. Dude, he really is a gentle giant, though. He's probably one of the nicest men. And let me tell you, being a big man myself, like, you're 6'4", bro. When he wraps your hands from shaking your hand, I swear to God. The only other person that's ever made me feel that way was Daniil Hunter.
That's a big man. That's a big, strong man. And so, and that's the cool thing, man. Like, before, that's why it's a shame that he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's not like, I follow this guy on Instagram. He's got what's called the Hall of Very Good. And so, and look, man, he are, outstanding career, man. You know, the amount of pressure that he caused, but the problem is, as Matt alludes to, time, you know, like I'm thinking of what's his name that just retired, Aaron Donald, right? The defensive tackle, defensive end, but he played a lot on the edge, and so you saw him kind of, you know, and you also saw him make that play in the Super Bowl. So, you know, you kind of almost don't have any choice, but you know, he's got to be a Hall of Famer with all that he's done.
You would think that, but then explain to me why Jared Allen had to wait a second round.
Yeah, man, with the number of sacks that he,
you know what I mean? Like, some of it doesn't make sense.
I think that when we go back, and this is my concern with the writers being only writers voting for the Hall of Fame, and I talked about this on air a few different times. I like that the Heisman voter, the ultimate sacrifice it takes to get to that level, and so you learn to appreciate it that way. I think that current Hall of Famers need to have something to say, because you think about, you know, you talk about, you know, Shannon Sharp getting in and Sterling just now getting in, and you know what I mean. Like there's so little, and not to say that writers, because I am part of the sports broadcasting, I won't say that we don't all know what we're talking about, but you got to question some of the things that are said. I'll take it to baseball for a moment, man. Ken Griffey Jr. was regarded as one of the best players to ever do it. He did it without any steroids. He did it without going to the Yankees or some big time team. I mean, he got 99.7% of the votes, right? Which is the highest for anybody to go into the Hall of Fame. The question I have is, who voted no on Ken Griffey Jr.? What?
And that's where I think it comes down to, and you know, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Sure.
But I feel like there's some hatred for the NFL, like for the Vikings.
Yeah, and look,
there's something to it that there's just not, because we have some of the greatest players that's ever played, and like you said, like your numbers are there, so there's got to be a biased reason.
What else is there? If we got to talk anything more than numbers, on some of these players, especially a guy like Kevin Williams. I mean, I guess you could. The only thing, maybe if you say that it was unimpactful, but there's no way when he was a 5-time All-Pro, he only played, like 10, 12 years? So he spent like half of his career being the best defensive tackle to lace him up every year. So, right. You know, like if that's not good enough, what else can I tell you?
And Jared Allen was probably one of the most electrifying players.
You know, he had flair.
Just everything about him was perfect.
And then the numbers match. So what are we doing? So yeah, no, I'm with you, man. And it's crazy to think, because you think about, because for a long time, I mean, Minnesota had a good run of rings there in the 70s with the Purple People Eaters.
Well, and then watch this. I mean, to cut you off, but Jim Brown just passed. Sorry, Jim Brown. He just passed away. Jim Marshall just passed away.
Right.
Just within the last year.
Yeah.
So watch him get in now next year.
Of course. But
and then I feel, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like it's one of those situations where they didn't want him to have that while he was alive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but you know what? His family deserves it.
Absolutely.
Like he was so, like, in Minnesota, man, he's so beloved. And if you're a Vikings fan, bro, you don't get much higher than that guy right there.
I'm gonna tell you something. So I had a college teammate. He's a fullback. That was Winston. Was from Minneapolis, and so naturally he was a Vikings fan. But man, we would talk, because, and I'll be honest with you, man. Up until I met Winston, I had no idea that there were black people in Minnesota other than the Vikings. So I was like, man, Tim, what's going on here? And so he was like, man, it's a community, man, and the community is amazing. And this was right around the same time that Tony Dungy's son had passed. He committed suicide, unfortunately, and I know, and he talked to me about that, man. He was like, man, that was such a big blow to the entire Minneapolis, the Twin City community, because of what it means, how much people respected Tony Dungy, and you know, and his family and everything there, and you know what it means. You know, I've heard Tomlin talk about, even though he was only there for the 1 year, just talking about the impact that Minnesota had on him. You know, you look at a place like that, and I think so. I kind of resonate with that because being from Arkansas, now we don't have pro teams in Arkansas, right?
Y'all got Razorbacks, so
we do, yes, sir, and that is our pro team. They're a rock star. Yeah. But
and like you show up to Razorback teams like Minnesota Vikings fans do here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter what our record was, 56,000 them seats were filled.
Yeah, man, and again, you know, just to draw it out to the bigger picture, man. When I think about sports, that's the beauty of sports, man. It don't matter who you are, what you've done, what you identify as, whatever, you know, pronouns you take. You know, if you a fan, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? You know, as y'all say, skull. You know what I mean? It's, so.
Yes.
We might have a whole episode just looking at some of your tattoos.
Right.
And you got art everywhere.
I do, yeah.
Sports, man. So before we one last thing before we get into all your work, man. Give me one of your favorite stories. It could be anything, on the field, off the field, any star you met, whatever, man. Give me one of your favorite stories in the sports world.
Man. Yeah. I felt like I should have had time for that. There's been a few. Okay, so it's not one of those like I don't want to come off like I'm brag. I've painted for a lot of really big names.
Yeah.
I could tell you that, like, you know, painting for, you know, I just did one for Puna Ford for the Rams. We painted for, I've done a couple canvases for Laurel Murchison for the Rams.
Okay.
And he, you know, shout out to Murch. He still will randomly jump on my lives and just be like, bro, I saw you were live, just checking in. Have a good day. Like, it's those kind of things. It's the, with the binoms. Like, it wasn't even just Cam being like mom will text and be like, hey, how are you and Shelly, like my wife, and ask how we're doing randomly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's things like that. But then, you know, we talked briefly. I was able to paint for one of my childhood heroes. Like, growing up watching football, you know, you had your Emmitt Smiths, you had Marshall Faulks, you had Ricky Waters.
Yeah.
Right. And so, painting for Ricky was incredible because at first it was like, you know, we kind of reached out to him. We're like, hey, I want to get my name out there, this, and that. Well, you know, what are you thinking? I said, let me just paint something for you.
Yeah.
Just put it on your page, you know, tell the people what I could do. You know, I'm sitting with like a 2,000 something platform, right? Like, I don't, but Ricky, you know, he got a little bit more. So I said, let's do something.
It's running Ricky Waters, baby.
But then it turned into, like, his agent was hitting us up, like they were going back and forth, and then it was constant, like, just interaction. And Ricky is just, he's such an amazing individual. Like, I don't know, most people know he has a children's book out.
Okay.
So if y'all don't got it, run with Ricky, go get that book out there for your kids. You know, I'm sure it's on Amazon, whatever. And I did message him right before this here. So
yeah,
unless he's busy, but I'm watching the phone on the side here to see if he does jump in.
Yeah, man, I hope so, man. That'd be really cool.
But yeah, so Ricky, man, there really has been a few of them that just have made me feel like this is my purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up, like I said, anything violent, right? So I grew up tough. My dad was a drill sergeant, right? Cool. I was with Golden Gloves Boxing for 17 years. I got in trouble for tagging buildings when I was a kid. And they locked me up for 18 months. And the judge told me it was apparently cost a lot of money to clean the wall. But they did tell me that I have an immense talent. I just needed to redirect it.
Okay.
Now, it took me a while, but then one of the first, like, super famous people I got to paint for, when I mean super famous, I mean super famous. Like, so Mike Tyson actually owns the number 2 of this one.
Oh, wow.
So I kept the 1 of 2, and I had Mike sign that for me.
Yeah.
So that was super cool for me. Like, and I'm not gonna do the impression because I won't get beat up. Shout out, love you, Mike. But no, he literally looked at this canvas and was like, for me, and I'm like, yeah. And he said, I can't fathom how somebody could do this with spray paint.
Yeah.
And like that, like, I still get goosebumps. I can still hear his voice when he says it. Like, it hit me in the heart. You know how amazing that was. So that was pretty dope.
Man, for real.
There's been a few of them. Damon John.
Yeah.
He's got a couple paintings too. So I feel like it's slow. It was enough, but I feel like it all started with Ricky. Like that whole interaction with him really gave me a whole nother level of confidence.
Yeah.
And then I think you posted the video of his unveiling when he opened it. Because you see it in person, you can see it right now in this video.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it's so different when you're looking at it in person. Like this is a metallic gold, right? So when the light hits this as you walk by, that whole canvas shines. And I can show you how it shines. Like, it looks antique, but when that light hits.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
And that's going to a Saints super fan.
I was just about to say, man. So living down here in Louisiana, I don't know how many of them you got. Well,
so here's the thing: you can send me any picture. So I don't typically duplicate a picture, but if somebody said there's enough Drew Brees, if somebody's like, well, for you're in Louisiana, I just did one for Bernard Gooden for LSU.
Okay.
They just picked him up on the transfer a while, right?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I did pick that. Yeah,
defensive tackle. But he's looked at to be like probably one of the best in college football. So he hit me up, and he's got a picture where he's holding his pads like this, and then he had another picture where he was doing this, but he's like, but I got this tattoo on my neck I want to show. Well, clearly I can't see it. So what I did was I took the picture of him looking like this, and I just kind of rotated him, and I did 2 portraits side by side. I wanted to showcase like his hands, his fingers, just to kind of give all of that, like to show him what I can do. Like you just show me anything. Let me see if it'll show you a little bit on there.
Oh, okay. Man.
And then we did the little tiger stripe there. But one thing I was super proud of is being an artist. They hate doing hands. I don't know how well you could see it, but that shit came out.
Outstanding hand. Yeah. No, look, I was looking at it because I was actually trying to pick through like some different ones to grab, and I'm mad at the Dickens, man, because something's up with my streaming, so I can't load the video that I downloaded. I pulled like a couple different ones, that's why I shared it. That was the first one I shared, was because I wanted to. I want to say that might have been the first one I saw. It was the most recent, I think, that you did. But I was looking at it, and I was just like, man, that because at first I didn't know that I was looking at like a picture that you had done. I thought like maybe I was like, okay, maybe it's just a cover photo of him like actually having. You know what I mean? Like he's showing the photo and then he's gonna compare it to the painting. And then when I looked and realized, holy, that's the painting. That's I'm on my phone. That's loaded in 4K.
But that's why I tell people it don't even have to be sports. If you got a favorite picture, like
you can make it right. Man, that's the beautiful thing, bro. And looking at some of the stuff you've done, I was giving another guest a hard time because when I caught you live, I believe you were doing Justin Jefferson.
Oh, the Picasso one.
Yeah.
I can show you that. Yeah.
And so that one, I want to say it was the one of him doing the gritty, which immediately frustrated them because they're Alabama fans. And so, the rivalry between Alabama and LSU is something to behold. Man, they are the folks.
Here's my best way to describe this to people.
Okay.
Is I understand that there is rivalry.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, that's between the teams.
Yeah.
We are fans of fans.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you too, I'm going to say this, but I guess I'm willing to bet you can guess. There's a place I don't want to travel because they literally show time and time again that they are just too aggressive.
Chicago
games, huh?
Is it Chicago?
No, hell no. Chicago's dope.
Okay. Where is it?
Philadelphia. You don't go Philly, bro. They were throwing full beer cans at little kids.
You know how much you gotta hate somebody to throw a full beer?
At a child, bro. But it's not even just that. Now, mind you, again, I understand that they're not all bad.
Right. Yeah.
But if your police have to grease your street lights so y'all don't climb on them and wreck your city, that's your own city telling y'all to calm down.
And this is after a celebration, by the way. This ain't even when they mad. This is a celebration.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, man, that's fantastic.
No, we joke about it a lot though, but we say like if we're gonna go to Philly, we're going as a crew. Like you go with some people.
Yeah, you gotta have.
But I mean, it's just at the end of the day, bro. We're fans of fans. Be respectful because we're human beings. Like it don't, you know.
I tell you what. I tell you this story, bro. So I'm a Razorback fan, obviously. Razorbacks playing LSU in baseball. And so, like I said, LSU hates them some Alabama. They do not. They don't. Those two fan bases aren't fond of each other, and rightfully so, because they trade a lot of heavy punches each year. But it's a baseball game. The hat that I have on looks like the font for Alabama team. For Alabama, so this old lady. Everybody's really nice at the game, except for this old lady. Old lady, she must have been in her late 60s, early 70s. So I walk in there with my coworker. My coworker is an LSU alum. Shout out to Matt. Matt's an LSU alum, and we're sitting on the LSU side, right down first base. And so there's a few different Razorbacks peppered in there. It's a little bit of red, whole lot of purple. And so we walk to our seats. This old lady looks at me, and I mean everybody's laughing. And I'm a big fella, so most folks, even if they didn't like me, you know, or they wanted to say something, which
they don't say nothing.
they didn't say too. When I went to a basketball game, I went to a Hogs versus Tiger basketball game. We won that game in dramatic fashion. They were not fond of us, and so they looked at me and they looked up at me, and then they looked back down at my son. They thought maybe all right, I maybe get something out of his son. My son ain't small no more either. He's a pretty good sized kid too. But like, you know. Got a chance with the boy, but this old lady. So man, back to the baseball game. We walk up and everybody's just kind of grinning. This old lady looks at me. She looks at my hat and she goes, "What's that A for?" And I said, Arkansas. I mean, you've heard the phrase of looks can kill. She said, since it's Arkansas, you can sit down. And so then, dude, this is a pitcher's duel, okay? So I can't remember if it was Scanus or not. This is like 21, 22. And so whoever this kid is for them, this kid is, I mean, he is literally dealing, bro. I'm talking about dealing. It's 0-0, barely any base runners. And when we did get a base runner, we couldn't even touch second base. I'm talking about this kid is dealing. And we're fighting back and forth. We got our best pitcher going this Friday night baseball. And so finally, middle of the sixth inning, we get a guy to second base. And then when we get him to second base, the skipper pulls it. We go to town on the bullpen. This is great. I'm so happy. We end up winning the game like 7-1. But we scored them 7 runs in like 6th, 7th, 8th inning. After Landon Marceau was his name. I remember him now. Landon Marceau is a bad man. I don't know where he's at, but he's probably somewhere causing havoc on somebody's time. And so, man, we finally cracked this kid. And so we start, Razorbacks, we do a hall call. If you ever get a chance, it's beautiful. Yeah. And so now there's a group of fans on the third base side. That's the far side where the away team was sitting. And so the few of us that are Razorback fans on our side, we start calling the Hogs, and they're calling it. And I get halfway through my first woo, and I feel it right here. That lady is. I can feel it. I look over there, and she is cutting a look at me that could have cut through cheese, man. I ain't never been scared to call. I never thought it'd be a 70-year-old lady that would have done it, but
they're the only one that could have done it. And they got that mean look too. I was actually waiting for my wife to chime in because she's from Arkansas, so she,
Is that right?
Yeah, so she loves the Razorbacks. I got family that owns a resort in Cotter, Arkansas.
Okay.
That's just like 45 minutes south of Branson, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, right up there in North Central.
So I got roots over there.
Man, look, the world is literally this small, bro.
Absolutely.
I was telling somebody that the other day, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is the coolest thing about getting the opportunity to do this. You don't know me from a can of paint, man, and so it was really cool for you to like I said, to come on and do this with me, and then to think that, and I've met so many other people in the same way where you meet people and you get the opportunity, and you never know what you find, and even being this close to Arkansas now, I mean, it's still like a 6-7 hour drive back home from Baton Rouge to Arkansas, but there's so much cool stuff, man, that and cool people that I get to meet, man. So thank you for this, bro.
Absolutely. I grew up, man. I've been all over the world. So,
yeah, you did tell me.
I get it, you know.
Texas to start, man. But well, look, bro. I appreciate the time. Anything else, man? Before we go, anything you want to show? Anything you want to say? Shameless plug time.
Yeah, I can see if I don't know. Does it let me turn my camera around here? I can show you this one here a little bit.
That was hard.
So this is Jordan Addison. This is his first touchdown. I'll try and get out of the way.
Oh, that's what's up.
But like I said, if you have a favorite picture, whether it even be your kids, families, if somebody passed away, like I'll try my best. I'll make it look just like him. Like you tell me that's Mike right in his.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And then
I know you're gonna do it.
You can see the face.
That's fantastic, man. And so now, do you want him to hit you up at Marcus Weyh?
Yeah, it's right on the Instagram there. It's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me. Yeah. But like I said, so I mean, trust me when I say you will be surprised how much I charge. And one of the fun things, if you want to play, 16 by 20.
Okay.
Right. This is a custom, one of a kind, right? So, how much do you think I would charge for that?
Man, look, I would say.
Trust me when I say you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Because a lot of the time you're gonna be way over what I.
Well, I was gonna say about 500 or so.
Yeah, like 450.
That's solid, man.
But for a one of a kind, so it's not only just one of a kind. Like it's the only painting like it in the world.
Yeah,
it is 100% spray paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I think that's the part that really kind of got away with me because look, I love the arts, man, all of them, and especially the arts I can't do. I can hardly color in between the lines when somebody uses
one of my favorite things is my dad used to say, I would draw a broken leg on a stick figure. So he'd just be like, I don't know where Junior got it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, no, that's good, man. To be honest, like I always tell people too, is even regardless of if you work at Walmart, no disrespect to people who work at Walmart, thank you.
Yeah.
But if you work at Walmart, if you're a professional athlete, when you ask me how my prices are, they don't waver.
Yeah.
I start my 16 by 20s at this price, my 18 by 24s. And then sometimes you'll get a picture where somebody's like, it's a squared image. So then I go, okay, well, I got to do, so the smallest I could do would be like a 20 by 20, 24 by 24. I got stuff in my room I got Marvel, I got Star Wars, I got a Hulk, I got a Stormtroopers, I got a Homer Simpson, I got Nas Reed, I got an autographed Nas Reed, like these players when we go down, they'll sign and autograph them. To me, that's what's incredible because you have a one of a kind.
Yeah,
like absolutely. This one in particular because Mike owns the damn other one.
Yep.
Like that's so much cooler for me. This is the biggest autograph that Jordan Addison's ever done. When he saw the canvas, he's like, I fucking want that.
Yeah.
But I painted it for my wife's birthday, so I wasn't going to let it go. I did tell her, though, I go, look, if you may offer to buy this, so it's going to be up to you. She looked at him dead ass and went, this is my birthday present. So she was like, but then he goes, all right, so where do you want it? And I looked at him, I go, bro, as big as you. He goes, man, I'm going to give you the whole thing on it. So,
that's what's up.
But to me, that makes it that much more unique.
No, for real, man.
If you're going to go see Drew Brees, if you're going to, and a lot of times some of these Fanatics, what's the other ones? Like some of these sports stores that have players come and do autograph signings, they have about a month ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that's the case, and I got to ship it to you, get at me sooner than later.
Yep.
Because you get a one-of-a-kind painting, autographed. I'm telling you, the prices on some of those are insane.
Yeah, and that's the best part is that you go get when they take one of those, man, they're gonna look at me like, where did you get this?
And another thing I just brought up to a guy is, so can you tell me, you have any guess on what the Michael Jordan rookie card, like his rookie card sells for?
Oh,
because there was literally only a handful of them that are 10 gen, whatever meant, perfect condition. How much that card sells for?
Man, it's got to go for $5,000 at least.
No, with millions. Like
really?
A million, yeah. I think I saw one that was like a couple million for this card. And I said, but how? And I told the guy who's a card collector, and I said, how many cards are there? He go, oh man, less than a handful. I said, well, for $450, I'll paint that card on a canvas for you.
The one.
And it's the only one like it. You know what I mean? But that's to me, that's the nostalgia of it. That's the originality that I feel like I create. That's how I went from tagging on buildings to figuring out how to spray paint on canvas.
Well, yo, man, listen, I love that, and I love the stories, and so we definitely got to get you back to get more stories, man. Because this is what I do. Like I realize it, man. I figured out what it is, man. I love to tell the story. And some of the stories.
That's good. I love to talk.
The beauty of this is, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So tell me how many words yours is worth, man. Since it's only one of one. You know what I mean?
Priceless.
For real, man. Yep. For real, bro. Well, look.
To me, here, let me put you real quick like this.
Yeah.
My one of a kind painting is like having that conversation with your family member who ain't with us no more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something that you can't take away. That's something that's not gonna come back. Like that is special to you, and that's what it is.
Look, you might have sold me on something. I'm gonna run a couple things by my brother and my sister. I was telling you, man, my dad left us in March, and we've been thinking about some stuff.
I can even, if you have a favorite picture and you guys took a picture now, I can add them to your photo.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, like I said, I'll add stuff to it.
No, that's it. No, we're gonna wrap on that, man.
And then just hit me up, man. I can do one for all your siblings. I'll hook you up on that too.
I really appreciate that, man. They're gonna like that, man. They're gonna definitely like that. I sound like I found my Christmas present for everybody.
There you go.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you again, Marcus Weyh, for y'all that definitely hit him up on Instagram, man. A insanely talented artist. And with 100 million great stories, can't wait to hear more of them from you. As we wrap up, anything else that you need to run by before we go, man?
Nah, man, make sure you check out my guy Fanatic Sports Podcast right here. #1 podcast on TikTok, Instagram, all over your social media outlets. Hit them up.
We like nuts, baby. We everywhere. Well, man, thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you to everyone that's checking us out on all of our platforms, man. Can't thank y'all enough for all the work. We're growing and getting better, and more dope people are joining us. And it's all because of everybody that checks us out all the time, man. So before we go, I got to say a big special shout out and a big prayer to my man Worm and his family over at the Run Your Mouth podcast. We're definitely praying for your family at the loss of his friend. So thinking about that. But as I always say, man, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatic Sports Podcast.